Welcome back to day 2 of our watercolor fruit series. Today we are painting a soft and juicy pear with its beautiful curves, gentle greens and a simple sliced view. This one's all about keeping it fresh and elegant. If you are new here, this is a part of a 7-day watercolor fruit series where we paint a new fruit in each video. So be sure to check out the rest and follow along. For paints, I'm going to use the Daler-Rowney Aquafine 48 half pan set. This set has a beautiful collection of shades to paint all kinds of watercolor subjects. The set also comes with a size 4 round brush, which is a perfect size to get started with painting. Today we are going to use a couple of shades of yellows and a few greens such as sap green, olive green and hooker's green. We will also use a few shades of brown to mix some nice earthy shades of green. For exact shade names, please check description box below where I've also shared a link to this set. For brushes, I'm going to use the Princeton Velvet Touch round brush series in sizes 6 and 4 to paint larger areas and long round 4 and 1 for detailing. For mixing paints, I'm going to use some ceramic palettes that I have handy with me, but you can also use the mixing tray of your palette. For paper, I'm going to use the Canson XL Watercolour paper, which is 140 pounds and it is in the size 9 by 12. I have cut down these sheets into smaller sizes to use them for painting the fruits. The paper has a beautiful texture and I absolutely love it for layering and wet on wet watercolor techniques. To clean my brushes, I'm going to use a tissue paper or a kitchen towel. We are also going to need 2 cups of clean water to rinse our brushes and to apply layers of clean water wherever we are going to do some wet on wet techniques. We are also going to need a pencil and an eraser for sketching purposes. And a masking tape if you're using a loose sheet of paper like me to tape down your paper and hold it firmly, but this is completely optional. Feel free to pause here and sketch along using this outline as a reference. No need to be perfect, this is just a gentle guide before we dive in with color. Let's begin by mixing some lemon yellow onto the palette. I'm keeping the mixture very light and runny. I'm adding lots of water to this paint in order to get desired consistency. I'm also adding a bit of cadmium yellow to this mixture. Next, I'm also mixing a light mix of sap green and yellow. Now I've got my paints ready to go, so let's begin with our first gentle layer. For that, I'm going to use my size 6 round brush. Start by applying an even coat of clean water onto the entire surface of the pear. We want the surface to be moist and wet, ensuring there are no dry patches on the surface. We will keep a soft highlight in the middle portion of the paper. Then I'm going to drop in some yellow wash that we mixed earlier, starting from the top. I'm going to leave the white of the paper in the middle portion for highlights. As you come down near the base, add a slightly darker wash and with a light hand, softly blend the color on the wet surface. Next, I'm going to drop in the soft mix of sap green starting from the top, and as I come to the bottom, I will add a bit more and blend everything softly. Then I'm loading my brush again with the same mix of the green paint and layering it again to create a slightly darker layer. I'm softly blending everything, making sure the lighter base layer is not completely covered. The highlight is still visible. Now I'm mixing a darker value of just sap green and applying it on the wet surface. I'm gently dabbing it in the middle, top and bottom portion of the pear. Once I've placed the color, I'm blending everything with a clean moist brush. Be extra careful as you blend near the edges. I'm applying a slightly darker mix near the edge and letting it bleed. I'm also adding a tiny bit of darker value near the highlight to get a good contrast. I'm simply dotting the paint around and allowing it to blend naturally. The dotting action creates a beautiful texture near the surface. Let's take a closer look. As we wait for everything to dry before painting the leaves, let's paint the cut slice. Lighten your pencil marks if they are too dark. Then I'm mixing an extremely light wash of lemon yellow with a hint of yellow ochre and diluting it with a lot of water. Apply this light wash onto the surface of the slice. Cover the surface evenly with this paint. Then dot in the same paint with thicker consistency near the bottom, middle and side areas to show the changing color of the flesh. Then I'm going to draw a soft blurry line in the center of the fruit. After that, with the help of a size 1 round brush, I'm adding more details near the top and bottom portion of the pear to show some green of the fruit. Blend everything well. Let's take a closer look. If required, do some shading to bring out the colors. Next, we will paint the green portion of the pear as seen from the side angle. Using the small size round brush and the same green paint which we mixed earlier, I'm gently going to paint that area. Use a slightly darker mix of green for shading if needed. Take your time and blend everything nicely. Once you're done blending the right hand side, go ahead and add subtle border around the left edge of the pear to show the skin peeking through. Let's go ahead and paint the stem now. Mix some brown paint which is not too runny and carefully go over the stem and fill it in. We will paint the stem of the other pear as well. Add extra details using even a darker mix of brown to add depth and texture to the stem. Let's paint the leaves now. I'm mixing a fresh batch of sap green and some brown, and then using my size 6 round brush, I'm going to paint the leaf in a loose manner. For added texture, you can lift some paint off using a clean moist brush. Then I'm switching to a small size round brush and doing some detail work around the stem of the leaf. Now let's move over to the sliced pear and paint the seeds in the center. Before you do that, make sure the surface is dry. Paint in the seeds and add some final details near the bottom and center line of the slice. Let's add last few details on the whole pear before we call it complete. I'm going to paint the back portion of the fruit as we see it peeking from the front. A soft edge behind the stem. Let's paint that portion green. And finally, I'm going to add some veins on the leaf to give it some extra texture. And here it is, our finished pear painting. I love this part where we peel back the tape and see those crisp, clean edges. It really brings the whole piece together. I hope this painting brought you a moment of creative joy and that you feel proud of what you created today. This is just day 2 of our 7-day fruit series, so there's lots more to look forward to. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss the next videos. We will be painting a new fruit in each episode. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.